Yes, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. This is the premiere broadcast of Big Up Yuhself. So I am Shevrado Oliver, and beside me we have the man, the myth, the legend, David G Heron.
Don't know about all of that legend stuff, but hello everyone. I'm glad to be here.
Well, go on, Pops.
Hey, but there, star. What's going on with you?
I'm good, you know.
Good to be in the studio with you. Well, our studio. The studio.
This studio.
The studio.
Yeah, man. So, we have enough things to talk about, you know.
Yes, star. But no yet.
Enough things to talk about, you know. Especially since we see that movie, they don't.
Oh, man. Yes, I know
that
you have a
movie.
lot. You have a lot of feedback on that.
That movie. So,
yeah.
Firstly, spoiler alert. If any of you guys have not seen the One Love movie, watch it and then come back to this, because we're going to be discussing the movie. Right? Yeah, man. So, I believe that it was a solid movie for what it was. For what it was a solid movie. Right? I believe that they did what they could have done with what they had. Now, there are things that I would have wanted to see, but again, that's subjective because the man lived for 36 years. There's no way, absolutely no way, you can condense that into 1 hour and 90 minutes or 2 hours. You can't.
So them should have make it longer. Listen, I agree with you. See, I agree that they did the best they can, but a lot of people disagree with you, as you can see on Instagram and all over the place. You know, I just now watch a lady who that cuss out, Ziggy from, like him sell out Jamaica, and then there was this other guy, Caucasian Jamaican man who saying the same thing, that you mean you couldn't find a Jamaican? All right, okay, I see you find somebody for play Bob, But
so you couldn't find a Jamaican actor for Bob? No problem, I made that slide. How about, could you find a Jamaican actor for Rita Marley? Or how about, could you find a Jamaican actor for Peter Tosh? Could you find a Jamaican actor for... Or no, better yet, could you find a Jamaican actor for Sydney Breakspeare? Because the lady that you are having playing Sydney Breakspeare have less than 4,000 followers on our Instagram, when I personally know a Jamaican with over 600,000 followers on TikTok alone that could have played Sydney Breakspeare, but I'm not going to call her name.
You couldn't find somebody for play Peter Tosh, or so, another Jamaican for play. Why everybody have to be British and not Jamaican? You know what I'm saying?
So you see, the thing now is this, right? As an actor myself, and as a person who have been working in this industry for a while, both in Jamaica and outside of Jamaica, there are things that I can say I know that it's not just, yes, to be fair, I can tell you offhand a few Jamaicans that I know could have played Bob Marley, executed it immaculately, right? And it would be a phenomenal movie, because at the end of the day, you don't need a name to sell the Bob Marley movie, right? If you're really putting it out there, you don't need a A-lister to sell the Bob Marley movie. Now, Kingsley Benadir is a name that's been known across the globe for a minute. So yes, people are gonna be like, yeah, I know him, and his fans are gonna watch it. But you don't need a name to put butts in seats. But I can understand from a studio standpoint, they're not willing to leave it up to chance when you're spending upwards of $80 million to make a feature. They're not gonna say, we're gonna leave it to the name.
Well, I can see what you're saying. I guess I was it studios that put up some of the money. And the executive producers like Brad Pitt. I was shocked to see that Brad Pitt was an executive producer, but you have to give them what they want. But still, well, authenticity is important.
Extremely.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, Benedict was a very good actor. He did an excellent job.
Nuanced performance.
Yeah, he did. And the young lady, I forgot her name, that played Rita.
Lashana Lynch.
She also did an awesome job, right? But don't forget, say, listen, you're dealing with a Jamaican icon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't
Respect.
It sounds like a sellout. I agree with some of the people when they say it sounds like a sellout because people are put up. So Ziggy, you have enough money, put up the money yourself. If I have 80 million, you can. I mean, I know you got money, and the family got money. The family, just to make it authentic, put more Jamaican in playing Jamaican role. We have to get all of the actors from England.
So dig this, Pops. See, this is what he was saying. I saw a video because again, we know a lot of people who audition, right, for roles in the production. A lot of people audition, and he said he couldn't find somebody who, he wanted to play Bob, and when he saw Kingsley, he's like, yeah, him. So now, this is what we have to look at. People saying, why didn't he have people like Skip or, a couple of his other brothers or whatever play the role? And even his brother, Stephen, who is a big-time actor, top actor from long time, in Shutters and all them things. He used his platform to say, yo, nobody can play my father better than me.
Yeah.
So he said that, and
it went viral.
And he's standing behind that, and you can't take that from him because again he's an actor. So again, it comes down. Well, there's a bunch of intricacies what we don't really know about. But at the end of the day, who played the role? Who determined who did that? Them say them are using him, and then him deal with.
Well, that's where the family, it was a family decision.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, I don't think it was solely my personal opinion, being an executive producer on another project. I think that you have to give the executive producers, the studio, right, the people that are putting up the money, what they want. Okay.
You don't have all that. You don't have no choice.
Yeah, right. So when people say you're a sellout, you're a sellout. But I'm not like pointing any fingers, but I'm saying there's a point when somebody say that you're selling out, your culture, and because you have to give people what they want or else. And then I wouldn't say the film was mediocre, but it got some off initially. The reviews were like, wow.
Yeah,
I
but you
could
see
not believe it.
The critics, because you see the thing is, and that's a disparity that we always have. You have some critics who, and it's not even for the film being a Jamaican film, even major Hollywood blockbusters, critics rip it in the first 2-3 showings, and it have terrible scores on Rotten Tomatoes, and then wham, the film release, and all of a sudden it's a major hit. Everybody love it, and you're like, but the critics said it was rubbish. So it
could you imagine they gave him 2 stars? That's an insult. That was an insult.
But you know what
2 out of 5?
Yeah, but no, it's over 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience score is ridiculously high because people saying, oh boy, this is a feel-good movie. I never expected it to be so emotional. I never expected to feel. And you can't, because it did, again, the film focused on a period of this man's life, right? So what period did they choose? They chose the period in which it was most turbulent for him, right?
Yeah.
And how he overcame that. And what happened eventually? The man died suddenly at 36 years old. So it's not like you have an ending that... And it's biopic. So when all biopics in history, in a feature film, has left out major occurrences in the people.
All right. Talking about leaving out, stuff, right, out of that. I think that they made a terrible error in leaving out Miss World. Yeah, I think that, let's keep it real.
But we did see her, We did see her.
For what, 2 seconds?
Yeah, but remember say, all right, what y'all say?
No, but from what I heard, that she had a major, the actress, she had a major part in it, and they edit her out completely and left. I mean, I didn't even realize that until you told me, because we saw the movie together, right? That there was a small part where she had the baby and Rita.
No, Rita was holding the baby when in the Again, spoiler alert. If you never watch it, remember what the telling you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't want, but
we are talking about
yeah,
it still. We are talking about it.
right.
But yeah, there's a part where Rita was out and you can see that she didn't have Junior Gang in her hand. You know what I mean? And you know, because you see every baby where them have together, even the one, that Rita had and Bob adopted, you see all of them there. But then you see this one white looking baby in her hand, the youngest one, everybody running up and down and this baby in hand. So you know it's Junior Gang. It's not an Easter egg. It's really him. Right? And when they was talking on the phone and Rita said, "You have company?" And him said, "Yeah, it's cool. You see Cindy across the road, I wait and I smile while I use the phone box." The story, personally, I don't feel that the relationship between the two of them would have add much more to the story.
What? Man, I disagree with your style.
Where you feel
Listen,
that?
he wrote, this is what, all right, I'm not here to criticize, I'm doing a little critique, but I'm not, because, I know how, I have a little bit of experience about movie making, right? But she was a main character, right, in the man's life, right? Why? And I think she would have added so much more. I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Bob Marley look like he was, a father, a good husband. He loved Rita to death. I mean, some of the songs, and you know about this. One of the songs that he wrote to for
Turn Your Lights Down Low.
Turn Your Lights Down Low. And there's some people talking about that he really wrote it for Cindy. But in the who was he singing it to?
Rita. But I don't know if you saw that documentary where Rita was sitting down in an interview. It definitely was several years back. I can't date it. And she was speaking about finding out that he wrote the song for Miss Breakspear, and that she was not going to sing it, and that I don't want to call the name of the lady who told her to sing it. She did call the name, but I don't remember who it was. Say, "Yo, you need to sing it because if you don't sing it, Bob gonna be mad."
You mean one of the eye trees?
One of the eye trees.
Right.
I don't know if it was Miss Marcia Griffiths or Miss Judy Moore. I don't know which one. But she's like, "Me nah sing nothing."
You can't blame the woman.
You can't blame her. But you see, this is the thing, People know Miss Breakspear because of who she was at that time. She was Miss World. But people don't understand that she was one of about 6 or so baby mother. So it's not like she was the only baby mother. The man had one baby born 1973, one born 1974, one born 75, and his different baby mother them. So maybe off by a couple of years, people don't kill me. But yeah, you know what I mean. So it's the man, and there's a baby mother. Even 1981, the year him dead, he have a baby born that year there.
Okay.
One little girl.
Yeah.
From a different baby. So it's not like it's one baby mother and so you can't see you saw the children, the product of the union.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, but the point I'm trying to make about Breakspear, right? She was like, I mean, how many kids? It's not just one kid.
Yeah, she won one son.
Is there one son? Okay. But I mean, she was in the tabloids with with Bob Marley in England because she's Miss World.
That is
right?
it. That is
right.
the only thing that she has over everybody else is the fact that she was a public figure.
And a very beautiful woman who, won the Miss World.
Well, all of them pretty, But listen, Bob is a thing, Bob.
No, I'm not saying because but I'm saying that he wrote songs. How many songs he wrote for the other people?
You don't know because them not come out and talk. Suppose him say, the one where him say, is this love that I'm feeling? Suppose him to write that for that lady over there, so. You can't really.
Man, that's definitely Cindy. Yo, you can't defend that. Everybody know. Yo, that's definitely Cindy, right?
Man said, I am willing and able, so I put my cards on the table.
That's right. I mean, she got Cindy written all over. No. Yo, I love Bob. See, I love his music. I grew up listening to Bob Marley. I mean, I think the man was a legend. I mean, he was obviously a prophet. I think he was a prophet, and unbeknownst to himself, you know, unwitting prophet. Because so I heard some thing on YouTube or something about him saying people were like saying that, trying to dissect his music and the meaning, and he was like, "Wow, I didn't know that. I don't know what they're talking about." You know, so the music, you know, as an artist, you know that art comes out of you. So you don't even know. It's like some writers saying that they just start writing and the stuff just come out of them and them don't know where, you know, stuff just coming out on the page. It's like him and music. It just come out of him, right? And it means so much to other people that, you know, it's like he's taken over by, lack of a better word, a spirit, you know, you know, and he doesn't even know that.
Transform.
That's what, he's transformed, right? And that's how I saw him, because when him said that, boy, and that me not right about, you know, people criticize this is what it means. I'm saying, boy, that me not right about, you know.
That's the thing with music, you know. Like, I have a very, very close relationship with real musicians, and almost said that word, musician.
Yeah, musician.
I don't know
Massachusetts.
why. I don't know what.
Massachusetts.
Drink some water.
Yeah, drink some water. But yeah, I mean, listen.
Yeah, but what I say still, you know, like, I've seen where they create music from scratch. So me I say, and it's almost like a spiritual thing, because you see them sit down, you know, and them listening to the track, or and them start do some babblings, and them start make some sound when they make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, you remember Exodus? You remember all in the movies?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Remember, and them do the babblings, and then after that, now
it just evolve.
You just hear one word, and then you see them do it again, and then two words come, and then you see a melody start take form, and then when the melody start take form, which is the melody is the most important part of the song, you know what I mean? And then once that take form now, the words start come, and then the meaning start come, and then you realize, oh, you get, if you love that, and then them tell us, say, yo, don't fall in love with that too much, you know, because that might change. You know, and then them do it and it change, and then when you hear the final product, you're like,
it was interesting though in the movie when the I guess this English guy came up to Bob and said, "Nobody, young people, not gonna like this." You know, he was talking about the album cover, and you know, him need to do this and do that, and you know, and then Africa. You remember the part where they say, "Where you want to go to Africa?" You know, nobody, you know, by listening to reggae music in Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, so we can build it.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, Bob was, to be fair to Bob, you know, Bob was a dude who he always wanted to build something for the people. That's been his MO from day one. You know what I mean? And people who knew him or who claimed they knew him, because I couldn't verify that, mentioned that when they see him in the streets or whatever, and if they approach him for anything, he will always give it to them, as you know, for help themselves or whatever. So you see, when it started, a woman come in and say, "Boy, she want money to build a shop," and Bob say, "Yo, just gear whatever she need." Because him say, "Yo, the money is not for me." No, the man, they have money, you know. But he wasn't absorbed. Yeah, he might drive Benz and VW and them something there still, but him never.
Yeah, the money, it wasn't about the money.
It was a byproduct of what he was doing, but it wasn't.
Exactly. It's him love what he was doing. Him love the music. Him love people, and money. Yeah, it's like a byproduct. Good analogy.
But it was a byproduct, because again, and that's with anything, you know, in life that's artistic. If you, well, I'm telling you, if you decide you're going to become an artist, like a singer, songwriter, actor, to get rich right away, you got to go with it, you know.
Yeah, that's true, but some people who make it become, you know, have become snobs and, you know, untouchable. I'm not calling him, but I know several artists, you know, in the US, and probably a couple in Jamaica. They, you know, they what do you call them? You know,
yeah, we have to navigate them all the day. But you see, this is the thing, you know. All right, and I'm gonna use the language. It was taken from a film. Money is.
Oh, the word I'm thinking about is divas. They become divas. What do you call a male diva?
Diva.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, it becomes a diva, like certain people that started off like, you know, dancing, and you probably, yeah, that's my generation know about it, right? this particular singer that started off as a dancer on a particular show with some brothers, right? She is such a diva now. Like, my son works as a concierge, right? And I'm in a building in Manhattan, and she owns an apartment. I'm talking about billionaires that live there and stuff like that, right? And he recognized her, so he left the doorman, and he opened the door for her. And she just walked in, and she didn't even acknowledge him or say thank you, and that put such a bad taste in my mouth. Because she's a good actress. I'm not calling him, but I think everybody know me I talk about, right? And
these are my things, right? Money is a tool, and money just gives you access. Money gives you the freedom to be who you really are inside. Because you have people who money don't change them none at all, and you have some people who get them change 180.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So and Bob wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Bob
so again, there's this thing about creatives where we dabble with emotions, in and out of emotions, right? And then after a certain time, some of us get deified, and it's in that it gets crazy when everywhere you go, you are loved and worshipped. You have to be really grounded. It can mess with your brain, because again, when you become the product of everybody's success, you are the one thing that you are the gravity to these people around you. Everybody around you earns off of you being you, so they will do whatever you want, and they'll do whatever you say, because guess what? You are the oxygen to them. You give, you being you in your truth or whatever you're doing, gives them money and success and stability. So then you become almost godlike, right? So it's like they enable you when it comes down to whatever you want. So then when that becomes your reality, and that's how you live your life.
That's ego, man.
It is, but it is.
That so? Because that money don't make you. That's not who you are. Being a pop star and so that's not who you are, man. That's not what you are. You're trying to emulate. Not even that's not the right term, right? You're trying to identify, right? Like, okay, my name is such and so. I'm a pop star. That's not who you are.
That's what you do.
That's what you do. Exactly. You're a human. You're a being. You know.
See, I want genius though. I want genius.
Because of that.
Because it's like you break down the thing to an elemental level. Like I said, boy.
But just think about it. Think about it. Your name is Shevrado Oliver.
Yeah.
Right. That's what they call you. In Spanish, right? In Spanish, that's literally what me llamo means.
Yeah.
That's why I'm called.
I'm called.
They got it right. I think Latino people got it right. That's not who you are. Who are you? I am Shevrado Oliver. That's not who you are. You're called Shevrado Oliver. Oh, I'm an actor. That's what you do.
It's what I do.
You're not an actor. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, I become people for a living.
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is that, it's all ego, man. Because listen, you still go to the bathroom like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You still have basic human. So why act like you're so above? And we're all gonna end up in the same place. You ain't gonna take $1 million. If you're a billionaire, you ain't gonna take it with you when you're going in a wooden box. So you're gonna get. What I'm saying?
I don't want to take it with me. I want to leave it for my generation.
Yeah, but with them same, So
more anyway, them leave it for them generation. For them
anyway, certain person, your name, live on, and you see they're gonna be good or bad.
But you see, the thing is though, as I said that that we're all equally good and bad in everybody's story. Because look at it like this, right? Case in point, you're going to one of them supermarket down the road to buy something. On your way, it's snowing outside. No, it's not snowing now, but let's just say it's snowing outside.
We're in a part of the U.S. right now. We woke up this morning and say, we're in New York, and we haven't had snow in New York for a while, right? And this is like the third.
Snow like this.
Yeah.
No, man, more than 3, man.
Yeah, but the other ones were insignificant. I mean, this is like third. Yeah, about 6 inches we had today. At least 4 inches. Because when I went to, I don't know if you guys can see through the window, but it looked like a winter wonderland out there. It was so pretty. Yeah,
can probably get some B-roll outside.
But it's very pretty. But anyways,
so you step down off your Porsche and you slide, boop, drop on,
bust your head.
You bust your head, right? Now you have a big coke up on the back. For anybody who don't know, coke means a swelling. On your head, right?
Yeah, Jamaica.
Yeah. Big up yourself. So you have the cocoa now, and you're going to the supermarket, and somebody say, "How you doing?" And you grumpy because your head really hurt you, And you say, "Yo, now ask me the question, man. Or just leave me alone, or whatever you say, rude, and just go about your business." And that person look at you as a complete a-hole just because of how you deal with them. And then the next day, you come to the same supermarket, right? You come out of your house, you go in your car, boom, the car charge already, you drive down there, step out, butterfly pitch on your shoulder, and you go inside and you smile, and you say, everything that's bright and trippy. You're like, "Hello, darling, how are you, my love?" And you go inside, and she's like, "Oh, I like him. He's such a sweet person." And the other person said, "Who, him? He's an a-hole." And she's like, "No, he's so nice. He's always been nice." She's like, "Not to me." It happens a lot, but it's more, it's not as linear in other people's lives, right? Because everybody deals with people differently, depending on their own personal experience. Because you might be happy, and because of your happiness, you deal with a person nice. And then a day where you're upset, like on a day when you find out, say, "Yo, them rob your account and hack your money and take 100,000 US out of your account, and you have to go through this and have to get it back." You don't want nobody to talk to you. You know what I mean?
I mean, why being nasty to somebody because somebody,
it's not deliberate.
No, I hear you, right? And some people say, well, and people that are listening to us are watching us right now are probably saying, well, that person, you're only human. You're not only human. You are not only human. You're also human, but there's other, and I'm a spiritual person. You can tell, right? Yeah. You're also human, right? Because there's a spiritual aspect of you. So if you think you keep going out there and say, "Oh, I'm just human, so I can do whatever," and my excuse is I'm only human, I got news for you, right? You're not only human, and that's the big mistake. It's the ego telling you that. Your ego, and I keep using that word, but I hope people will pick up on it and say that half the things that people do is based on ego driven.
So what do you feel? What do you feel is the remedy for that disease?
Well, you know what? We're kind of going off subject. We're not talking about Bob Marley. Yeah, we can talk about that a different show, a different podcast. Right?
Hey, are we ready up and up?
You ready for that?
We're ready for good.
No, but the bottom line is, Bob, Bob. Yeah, they did. The movie was all right. I'm glad that the people go out there and support him.
And that's what I'm happy for.
I'm happy for that.
Yep.
And it's not just Jamaicans. You know what I'm saying? It's not. And it's not all about Jamaica because Bob is international.
The man is galactic.
The man is all over. It's international. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what this shows? This shows that the way he galvanized the world of music and the world in general, it speaks to the tenacity that he had in him, right? He was a real rebel. Back in those days, what he was singing about wasn't mainstream, and he took it mainstream. It wasn't. I mean, he wasn't really the real rebel, because Peter Tosh was a rebel, Like Peter Tosh, if you know a film story,
yeah, but I like to see a story about him.
I like to see a Peter Tosh story too.
A movie about him.
Yeah, Peter Tosh no play.
Yeah, because there was a documentary on YouTube about Peter. Yeah, but he was an icon in his own, in his own way. You know what I'm saying? But Bob, he was also human. I'm gonna say he's only human. He was also human because I think the man was deeply spiritual, and you can tell from his music. But he did some stuff that human beings, our men, do,
Hey,
man do.
that was topic where if I go on that topic there, I go see the ladies able to comment with them stone and them pickaxe because the boss said, listen, this is what he did. But you see, at the end of the day, the man said to him, there's a documentary where he was saying, what do you think about women? The man said, well, I love all women, and I believe that they're all mine. So I said that. Yeah, so what on there?
Well, the man is also African.
The man said all women.
He's half white, but he's also African.
All women belong to you, but my woman don't belong to you, my guy. You have to go.
No, I don't think. I think I'm looking at.
I'm
looking at that way.
It's all women. Cause no, I get trouble.
I think monogamy. You talking about,
Yeah, you must say all women. You know.
Why should I be monogamous when a lot of women out there? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But then the funny part is that there is and I cannot verify this quote. However, it appears on the internet very frequently saying Bob Marley said, "Only a coward man awakens a woman's love if he's not prepared to deal with it." So he's saying a coward man awakens a woman's love and is not prepared to deal with it. So apparently, if you're a man and you make a woman fall in love with you and you can reciprocate, if you can't make her feel like a woman, if you can't make her feel safe, if you can't make her feel secure,
that's an excuse for I can't help it, man. Women fall in love with me. I gotta reciprocate. Yo, I can't help it.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
You don't never think about it like that. Never.
I listen to you though. I listen to you.
I don't mean say
yeah. We never hear Bob say that though, but
we never hear it. But we see it on social media. You know the Instagram thing though. I only for meme. But listen, man, Bob Marley was why. You know the funny thing about it is Rita in Miss Marley in one of them documentaries said that, at one point in time, she was no longer just a wife. She was like his guardian angel. She said that herself. She said that she would be the one that they would call when women were in his dressing room. Right. And he wanted to get rid of these women. They would call
I actually Miss Rita, saw that on
and Miss Rita would come and get them out.
Yeah.
So she wasn't like, well, I wouldn't dare try to speak on the female experience.
I know,
and how she would have or would not have felt, because I can only speak from the male perspective.
I think what she was saying, that Bob didn't only belong to her; he belonged to the world. He was like a superstar, and women wouldn't leave him alone, and they had separate rooms. I think that was a connotation, but she was in her own room or in the hotel, and he was in his own room, and and she forgive him, it's like, I think she really loved him. I think she
still does.
Yeah, you could see that,
But you remember
in the documentary, and the movie didn't really.
And you see again with the movie, you see there is a thing called short form content and there's long form. So for television series, you have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 episodes in each season. So you can, in more detail, delve into that character's life, flesh out the stories of other characters in the show, and make it more full, more rounded. When you have a feature film that's 90 minutes on average, you cannot do that. You have to pick the most memorable moments, which is subjective, and you can pick a topic that you've decided to write on and put that forward. So therefore, you can't put everything into that piece.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I still think that the family wanted to portray Bob in a more family, like a more family guy. They wanted to show, and that's their prerogative, They wanted to keep their father's legacy positive, and I understand that. I don't think that it was necessary. You're the professional. I'm not an actor. I'm not even a producer. You know what I'm saying? I'm just learning the business myself. But the way I view it, as the other people see it, I think that the family wanted to show Bob as a decent, loving father, loving husband and stuff like that. And you tell me, say Bob wasn't all that. The real Bob was, different. I'm not gonna. It was a womanizer and probably abusive, and it's out there. It's out there. I'm not trying to disparage him or anything, but I'm saying about authenticity.
The thing is,
important.
The thing is, when a person, because we saw where in the thing, Rita hit him, right?
Yeah.
And she was upset, and he was arguing with her, and him grab her and turn her around and all of those different things.
Yeah, but the real Bob would have probably slap her and beat the hell out of her. That's from what I hear. I mean, Bob was had a temper, right, and he used to be abusive. So are you telling me that? I mean, at that point, I was expecting to see the real Bob. I said, yes, okay, here it goes. Nothing happened. He was like, he took it, like turned the other cheek, and I don't think.
Well, you see, and that's the thing, we have to look at it from an objective standpoint where these things that were said about his nature when he was alive, few people can corroborate it to say it's actual fact, right? So some people can say it, some people who've seen it, right? And it's out there in documentaries and so forth. But then there's also the fact that what did the children see? Because you, as a parent, might have an issue and you have the issue with the wife, but the kids don't know. So if the kids don't know, they may not be able to say, oh, I saw my daddy do that, so that is the truth. They can only speak from the truth that they know. And again, the truth is subjective because there is a fact that this can happen and it's historical fact. But if this person grew up seeing their dad in this light and they don't know him any different, you can't tell them any different. That's what they know. That's what they've seen.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because
I don't. Listen. I do not blame them for wanting to.
You can't blame them, man.
I mean, it's their dad and they love him.
And that's the thing too. You see. You remember at one point in time, when we were watching, I think it was the beginning of it, and he said that this was his father's legacy and all of those things. And then there was a thing I saw on social media where Kingsley was saying, he was worried about the height difference because he's 6'2" and Bob Marley was 5'6". And Ziggy said, listen, my dad was a giant to me. So whether or not you're 5'2" or 5 or 6 or whatever, it's an artistic expression of Bob's. So therefore, I'm not hung up on the fact that you're taller. Yeah. Can you bring that?
No, he definitely did a good job.
He did,
man. He did. I mean, the acting was awesome. Like I said before, it was, very good acting. It's not the acting that I have a issue with. It's, the authenticity. I think that's what most Jamaicans were concerned about, that they didn't, they wanted to see more Jamaicans playing Jamaicans. And I think you kind of agree with that too, in some sense.
Yeah,
you always talk about other, how they disrespect Jamaicans. They use fake accents and stuff like that, and it just doesn't sound authentic.
What I can appreciate with this movie was, if you notice, there was no subtitles.
Right, yeah. Oh, and saying that, you notice that they didn't speak rah patois. You notice that?
They did, man.
Not overwhelmingly so.
No, man, they did, man. They did.
I thought
it's just the reason why is because you understood it as a Jamaican. But because I looked for the language, and even when Rita used the vernacular, she used it in the way where we would use it, where like even Bob say me is, say I am, right? So he used it, and the time period, the patois does change from period to period, because when you look at people speaking in the 1960s and 70s,
a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know about
different.
Jamaica.
Yeah, it's on different.
We develop new,
Yes.
Because we used to say I, and which is Rastaman don't say we or us, or
I and I.
It's them say I. And
as a farmer Rastaman.
Yeah, as a farmer Rastaman, I can tell you that. I'm not gonna say me and Chef. When I say we. The I, which is you. We're not gonna say you. We're gonna say the I, right? And when we say we're not gonna say I and I.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's always I.
It's always I because it surrounds that self.
Well, no, I think it have to deal with Selassie.
Or it's because we're I.
Irie, you know.
But yeah, I mean, the language was used very raw. Even when a few friends who I have who are in the production acting, you know, like when them come on screen and them talk, the vernacular was like straight. There's one person who is Jamaican, live band, never live nowhere in him life outside of it, and him say something, and when him say it in that line, it is sound not as Jamaican as him normally sound. So me I say, oh, you know,
have to tone down the patois a little because they're dealing with an international audience, and like you said,
well, you know, me not really feel because it's even
subtitle.
champion pops, even champion. When you hear the language in a champion, like not watching it, you not have a question, like because and that's what the guy said in the thing. 10 years ago, we would have a different argument now, but I think the world is waking up to what Jamaica is as it relates to film, what it can offer the world. Because we have so many stories that we haven't told.
Man, tell me about it.
We have not explored, and for we have certain things on development, so we can't really talk about certain things. But yeah, there's so many stories where we haven't explored these things. And it would be unfair of us to put the responsibility on other people who aren't as immersed into our culture as we are to tell those stories accurately. It is incumbent on us to get those stories out the way they should be.
Well, that's why them should use Jamaican actors.
Yeah, you see me. I say, but that's the thing. But it's a Paramount production, and it's a tough gang.
And that's where the people them talk about the sellout because we're sellout Jamaica.
So then why,
like, you know, before, you know.
So this is it though,
and
right?
then look, them give us terrible reviews on top of it. Right? We sell out Jamaica, you know, and reviews were awful. And now we have to come back and say,
"Boy, the movie nice because people love it." but the funny part of it, you know.
Anyway, it was decent.
But the funny part of it, look at this part, right? The budget is reported to be north of $80 million. So it could be anything.
Wow.
North of $80 million.
I hope they make it back, man.
They're not gonna make it back because apparently the movie has broken records
I heard that.
for a Valentine's opening. It beat out a movie with Channing Tatum that was there several years ago.
Yeah, I heard that.
And it is projected to do serious numbers in the first, week is gonna be ending.
Today, yeah.
But in a few more days, we should have a more concrete numbers. So yeah.
So it didn't do bad. It didn't do bad.
It didn't do bad at all. So if this tracks to break even other opening records, it's gonna show that okay, you know what, the culture in itself is a pull, and people don't want the culture watered down. It's like
especially Jamaica.
It's like we think about it. When you're drinking something, you're making some iced tea on a summer day, and you decide to put some ice cube in it, and you sit down and talk, and the tea water, and it start taste fresh. You don't want that. So the trick is to get the iced tea, you make the iced tea, and you freeze the iced tea as ice cube. So when you want to put ice in your drink, you put the iced tea as ice cube, so it build it back up. So you want the real rich, rich experience.
I got your point, man. Definitely. But yo, all I gotta say, it was fun, man.
It was fun, man. It was fun. And listen, people, on this note, we're gonna be ending this premiere broadcast. But guess what? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell over here, so right? To make sure that you get all the new drops, the hot drops we make from this podcast, right?
Definitely.
Because there's more to come. We're committed to doing it, and we're committed to give you a lot of entertainment, news, sports, weather.
Maybe a little politics too, you know?
Why we don't know about the politics still, because
we're gonna stay away from that.
We're gonna stay away from that, you know? But you never can tell. Because guess what? I will say big up yourself.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna give a shout out to Lee Benford for not engineer, I'm doing the engineering for
The man gave us technical supervision from all the way down in Georgia.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And again, this podcast was sponsored. Hold on, look at the way. This podcast was sponsored by Cupcake Raptor Studios. For all your film development needs, visit Cupcake Raptor Studios on Instagram, Facebook. Listen, we got you. All right. Big up yourself.
Big up yourself.
All right.